Tim, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
Are you the most outspoken sports presenter in Western Australia?
Probably the most outspoken in Australia, to be honest, Nick. Yeah, I like to be. I like to have my opinions, and I think that's healthy. I think we're all entitled to have opinions. Doesn't make me right all the time, but yeah, I like to get it out there and ruffle a few feathers.
Sport in Western Australia, is it strong?
I think we go through patches. I'm worried about the international sport. I mean, we've fought very hard to keep the Hopman Cup. And I think we're starting to, again, start to see the best players want to come here. We saw Djokovic last year and had that wonderful season. Football's always going to be strong. I'd love cricket to be strong again. We don't probably have the personalities in sport that I think we could have, you know, from the Lily Marsh era, even the Adam Gilchrist era that has probably moved on. I'd like to think we can have a few sporting heroes again that the fans can follow. And but overall, Perth is sport, WA is sport. It's very important.
Do you think that the Eagles and the Dockers take too much oxygen from the other sports?
No, I don't. I think you cater for your masses.
Yeah.
I think TV ratings are an indication. Everyone's talking about it. I think we see it in the print, we see it on radio. I think footy commands probably 85% of the sporting community during the footy season. And I think the Eagles and Dockers, again, you cater for your masses. But then I think in the off-season, it's funny because a lot of people say, oh, what's the off-season coming up? You can all rest. But you've actually got to fill that 11 and a half minutes with Western Force, Wildcats, Perth Glory, Warriors, and everything else, and even Surf Club and Surf Lifesaving and you know, other sports as well. So it's funny when they're not there, the Eagles and Dockers, it gives everyone else another opportunity, but it actually makes more work for us.
Do you think the West Australian public are biased, or are they one of the more passionate type supporters? I mean, you're very active in Twitter. You get a lot of comments on whether you're actually a supporter of the Eagles or the Dockers. What is it about West Australians and their followers? What is it about their passion?
We're one-eyed. Yeah. One-eyed and a long way from civilisation. We're a bit of a backwater, I reckon. I mean, I love Perth. I'm the most parochial West Australian. But we do get lost in our own importance over here with our two teams. Yeah, it's funny when people talk about, oh, you know, free-to-air. We've got to have free-to-air coverage of the footy and delayed telecast. Go and live in Melbourne and be a Bulldog supporter or a North Melbourne supporter. They very rarely get free-to-air coverage, and you have to have pay television to actually access your own team. We are spoilt rotten as a footy community here. I don't think the fans absolutely know what it's like to live on the East Coast and not have access to your footy team in free-to-air television. We are spoilt.
Just getting back to Twitter, because you are quite vocal on it and you do give as good as you get.
I give better than I give. I think I give a lot more than I get sometimes. I do get on the front foot.
You do get on the front foot. What is it about that medium that excites you as a journalist? As
a journalist, well, there's twofold. A lot of... I like Twitter because I can be myself, I can voice my opinion, and if you're watching, it's mostly tongue-in-cheek. Don't take it too seriously, just chill. But in regards to the industry, it presented us with almost every other media outlet and the way they're thinking as it happens.
Tim, what do you love about Perth?
That we're a long way away from the East Coast. I actually like it. I like the isolation. I don't like the drivers. We don't know how to merge. Look, I love Perth. I love the people. I love the feeling that it's, again, a long way away from everyone else. I think we're a pretty classy place, to be honest, and I'm very lucky. And I've lived in Sydney, I've lived in Melbourne, but Perth's always going to be home regardless. And they don't pay us in corn chips in Perth either. A lot of people think, oh, it's a backwater. And we've got decimal currency, we've got colour TV, we've got the internet apparently. Everyone thinks we are so far removed from the rest of the world, but I love it.
Tim, we could probably go on for hours here, but we've got to wrap it up.
You sure? Yeah. Can't we just take an ad break and I can keep going?
Love to.
Thanks, my pleasure, Nick.